Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a journey to completely shatter one of the most stubborn psychological barriers out there, the barrier of age. I mean, how many times have we stopped ourselves from doing something absolutely incredible simply because we felt like the clock had run out? Well, today we're going to unpack a profound story that completely flips that narrative on its head. Okay, let's dive into this.
Have you ever felt too old to start over? Maybe you're 25 right now, and you already feel like you've somehow missed your big chance to do something meaningful. Or maybe you're 35, watching everyone around you advancing, wondering how they got there while you feel, well, completely stuck in place. Or maybe you're older, and every single time you even think about chasing a dream, there's this persistent, annoying little voice in your head whispering, you know what? It's too late for you. It's a deeply relatable pain, that feeling of being left behind. But I want you to hold on to that feeling for a moment as we look at someone who felt the exact same way.
Section 1. Tiếng nói của hoài nghi, or the voice of doubt. Let's meet Elena. She's a 42-year-old accountant who, despite living what everyone else called a perfectly stable life, felt completely empty inside.
Let's look at how she got here. Every morning, Elena would stand in front of her bathroom mirror looking at the fine lines around her eyes and the growing number of gray hairs, asking herself, where did the time go? When did I actually become this person? Because you see, Elena wasn't always this way. She used to have massive, beautiful, ambitious dreams. At age 22, she wanted to be a writer to tell moving stories, but people told her to be practical. At 28, she wanted to start a business, but the heavy burden of bills and the deep desire for safety kept her tied to her desk. At 31, she wanted to go back to school for psychology, but the fear of looking foolish next to 20-year-old students stopped her cold. Finally, at 38, she just wrote down a detailed list of everything she wanted to do in a beautiful notebook and hid it in a drawer to gather dust.
And then she hit 42. On the night of her 42nd birthday, her husband threw a small party. As her friends gathered around, singing, placing a cake in front of her with 42 glowing candles, something inside Elena just shattered. She looked at those candles and the heavy realization hit her. More than half her life was gone. She excused herself, ran into the bathroom, locked the door, and collapsed onto the cold tile floor, sobbing. She was literally mourning all the versions of herself that had quietly died over the years, all because she listened to that voice telling her it was too late.
Her best friend Maria found her crying on that floor. Elena choked out that she had wasted her entire life. But Maria didn't just offer empty comfort. She shared a story about her own grandmother, who started learning how to paint at the age of 78, having never held a brush in her life. And you know what? Her grandmother said it was the very first time she truly felt alive. When Elena protested that others had a huge head start, Maria looked at her and delivered this powerful truth. Failure isn't trying and failing. It's never daring to try. Because that is what you're actually going to regret when you're 78.
Section 2. Bài học về thời điểm, the lesson on timing. It began with a cafe encounter. The very next morning, Elena sat in a cozy cafe with a blank notebook, struggling to write a single word. That's when an elegant, older woman in her 60s with kind eyes and ink-stained fingers noticed her struggle. She invited Elena to sit with her and placed a tiny potted plant on the table, a young Japanese maple sapling, which is a tree that takes decades to mature.
The older woman looked right at Elena and said that if she planted this tree today, she wouldn't see it fully mature until she was in her 80s or 90s. People would absolutely tell her she was too old to bother. And this brilliantly illustrates the older woman's point. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Even if she only watched it grow for 10 years, she'd know deep in her heart she had nurtured it and created something beautiful that would outlast her.
Then the older woman pulled out an old journal and revealed her secret. She was a writer. But here is the incredible part. She didn't start in her 20s. She started writing at the age of 48, enduring 6 whole years of learning and failing before finally publishing her very first novel at 54. She looked at Elena and proved that at 42, she was nowhere near the end of the line. She literally had 40 or 50 years of potential ahead of her. That's an entire lifetime.
Section 3. 3 dangerous lies. The older woman pointed out that Elena, and honestly so many of us, are held hostage by these paralyzing myths about age and timing. Let's break them down.
Lie number 1. Everyone started earlier, so I can never catch up. Completely false. Success has 0 age limits. Master chefs, therapists, and teachers frequently start their real careers in their 40s or 50s. Lie number 3. It is too late to mean anything. Seriously, think about the math. If you live to be 80, a 42-year-old still has almost 4 decades ahead of them. That is way more time than most successful people even need to achieve their grandest dreams. Now, what about line number 2?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it reframes that exact fear. You see, you aren't starting from an empty vessel at absolute zero. You are starting with a treasure chest, 42 years of deep, lived experience, accumulated wisdom, and hard-earned resilience. That is a massive, incredibly powerful asset that a 20-year-old simply doesn't possess yet. You haven't wasted time. You've literally been doing the research to become the person who can finally succeed.
Section 4. The journey of small steps. Elena took that sapling home, placed it right on her bedroom windowsill, opened her laptop, and simply started typing. Her very first sentence was terrible, and she deleted it immediately. But then she typed the next sentence, which was slightly better, and she kept it. The energy in the room finally shifted from total despair to this pure, quiet optimism.
But starting late doesn't mean you get to skip the hard work, right? The early process is grueling. For 3 months, she wrote clumsily every single morning before work. Some days 1,000 words, some days nothing at all. At 6 months, she finished a short story, sent it out, and got her first stinging rejection letter. She cried, she felt foolish, but she kept looking at that little sapling growing on her windowsill, and she wrote another story. Finally, 1 year after that tear-filled birthday, she got her first publication in a major literary magazine.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because once that initial friction is overcome, the momentum compounds. By age 44, she had published 3 more stories. By 45, she signed with a real literary agent. And at 46, just 4 short years after crying on her bathroom floor thinking her life was over, she sold her first full-length novel to a publisher. 4 years. That is the pure power of compounding effort. When her book was finally printed, the author biography on the back cover brought everything full circle. It noted that she began writing seriously at 42, proving it's never too late. And beautifully, it mentioned that she lives with her husband in a Japanese maple tree that is now 1.5 meters tall. The tree grew right alongside her dreams. 2 years later at a book signing, a 32-year-old girl timidly asked Elena if she was too old to start writing. Elena smiled and told her, "You haven't missed anything. You are right on time."
Section 5. 5 Truths to Remember. Elena's story is about writing a book, yes, but it's really about any dream you've been delaying. Whether it's starting a business, learning an instrument, or changing careers, you are only truly too late if you die with your dreams still locked inside you. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a triumphant, actionable climax.
So, the crucial point is summarized in these 5 truths. 1. Time passes anyway. 5 years from now, you will be 5 years older no matter what you do. 2. Starting late is infinitely better than never. The world only cares about what you create once you actually begin. 3. You don't start from zero, you start from experience. 4. Comparison is the thief of courage. Your only true competitor is who you were yesterday. And 5. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. Don't wait until you feel perfectly ready or confident. Act despite the fear.
The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't age or luck or even talent. The only difference is that those who achieve them actually dare to start. You are not too old. You have not wasted your time. The most beautiful, most meaningful chapter of your life might literally just be the one you haven't written yet. Today is the perfect day to begin. Don't let your future self down. So the only question left to ask is, what will you start writing?
5 Truths